Go. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming along this evening for today's session on Bizmarang and our initial setup and introduction to the Bizmarang app. So Guy's just going to do a quick presentation today. We'll hope to get this over in 20 minutes. And if we have time at the end, we'll just go a quick run through, introduce everyone, so we'll just get to know each other a little bit better. So I'll now hand over to Guy and he'll take you through the presentation.
Thanks, Shane. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen here, chaps. And this is where we're going to go. Okay, so thanks very much, and thank you all for coming. Just to let you know, we had originally envisaged that we would like 20 CLs, and then we had a moment of madness when we thought maybe it would be 30 if one of us was working full time on this. But in fact, we've ended up with 19, and only myself and Shane working part time on this for the time being. So almost perfect numbers for us. So thank you all for making the effort, even those who've come all the way from DC. Just quickly, let's get started. So we are all about building the next generation of Bizmarang. Your presenters today are the beautiful Shane McCann on the left-hand side, who you probably all know is the original founder of Bizmarang, and he is the chief exec, and myself is chief operating officer and commercial director. So what we're going to quickly cover today, as Shane said, we're going to try and bang it out in 20 minutes. We're going to take a quick look at the app, posh words for looking around the app by entry and hierarchy of use, some basic house rules, our plan for the next 3 or 4 weeks, and then, as Shane said, a quick Q&A at the end. So, first off, accessing the app, and don't worry, we'll share all these slides afterwards as well as the video. So if you want to access our app, you will simply go, you don't need to do it now, but to access the app through your desktop or your browser, just go to www.bizmarang.mn.co, MN standing for Mighty Networks. So bizmarang.mn.co. On your mobile device or your cell device if you're in DC, the thing to just normal way to get your app, either Google Play if you're Android, or download through the App Store. Once you go to Android or to the App Store or Google Play, just search for Mighty Networks. You'll see that big blue logo with the M come up, and just download it for free. And then once you're in the app, there are lots of networks within the Mighty Networks app. So just search for Bizmarang, which will look like that blue circle with a B in it. And then once you open that, just downloaded that, or just open that, just apply to join. And either myself or Shane will then grant you access. So what happens when you get inside the app? The app has a very basic onboarding wizard. And when I say basic, I mean simple rather than not very good. It's very simple to use, very simple to set up your member profile, etc. Again, very similar to standard social media apps that, in fact, yes, there's member profiles and all that sort of stuff. So can I say that it's actually very easy to, you can go through it, and then when you've set it up, you don't have to get it right first time. You can go back and make changes, add different photographs or whatever you want to do further on down the line. So you don't have to get it right first time. Johnny, could you do me a favor? Could you just mute for us, because we're hearing all the background noise from you? Cheers, mate. Thank you. So once you're inside the app, it's going to look something like this. So I'm just going to, now what I'm showing you is on desktop. The nice thing about this is that it's actually very, very similar on the mobile device. It's actually designed for mobile, and hence that's why when you look at the app, it has a lot of very white space on it. Let me just go where we're going to go. So, but I am just going to do it from my laptop here. Can we all see that? Somebody give me a thumbs up. Alison, cheers, thank you. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the home screen for me in Bizmarang. Okay, and for you it'll be Alison or Johnny or Karen or Andrew or whoever it may be. Okay, so this is Guy Bucknell and my home screen. Okay, and you have your standard news feed here. Okay, so all the circle from the circles that you're members of, etc., will come into this basic feed. All right. It's the same when you open your app on your phone. This comes into your basic feed. So think of this in the same way as you might do your feed on your Facebook page or your LinkedIn profile. Okay. We've got all the normal stuff here. Well, first off, you can select what you want to see in that feed. Okay, so either everything, your personal feed, your activity from stuff from your host or near you, or quick posts and etc., questions and polls and articles, etc. All right. If I were you, I'd keep it on your personal feed, and you can sort it by latest activity and all that sort of stuff. And again, normal little toolbars, toggle bars that we can change settings. I'm just going to quickly shoot down the left-hand side here. So we have a number of tabs. You've got your home, your discovery, where where there are many sort of topic ideas in here. So top posts, and that is by interaction. Then you can search for members near you. Of course, there's only myself and Shane in here at the moment, so there's nothing showing here. And topics, I'll talk a little bit more about topics in a minute. Top members, and I'm not entirely sure how they select that, but I suspect it's by activity. And then featured posts, etc. And upcoming events and all that. In the members section, again, you can select by top or near you or nearest or newest or hosts, which will be you guys. Those are online now, and then you can actually direct message all of them. So to answer a question that was asked this last time, that in fact, no, anybody who is a Bizmarang member, you can direct message if required or if you want to. And then about is simply about that feed that you're in at the moment. So this is about, about is about the network that you're a member of at the moment. So Bizmarang, about this network, you can see we only have 2 members. Again, that's me, myself and Shane for the time being. The description of it, the posts and the top posts, and the welcome posts, and so on and so forth. So I'm Philip there. And then the idea to allow you to keep up with Bizmarang on the go. You can text people the app and all that. So moving on to topics. There we go. So Mighty Networks recommends that any network should only have no more than 7 or 8 topics. And again, we'll discover and the best way to use this over time. Please feel free to create a topic of your own if you want, but don't be offended if at some point later on we take a major cull to some of the topics or combine them. So somebody has needs to mute your. Can you mute your PC, please? Hello. Hello. Okay.
I think it. Sorry.
Is there somebody's got they're not muted, so we're hearing all their background?
Sorry.
Kids talking. And somebody coughing in the background?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave and figure it out. Bye.
Okay, no, Eve, it's down the left-hand side. Okay, if you look at you'll see the mute button down the left-hand side. A picture of a microphone. Oh, she's gone. Okay. So that's the topics. Then we have events. So if you create an event, the list of events will appear up here. And again, you can search for upcoming, those nearby to you, those that have occurred in the past, or those that you've created, etc. And we can add other search toggles further up along here. Specialities, again, so just so you know, Shane and I were playing around with this on a different Mighty Networks network. So everything in here is a complete blank fat canvas because we didn't want to have all our test messages and all that sort of stuff in here. So everything in here at the moment is blank, but hopefully we'll all fill it up quite soon. So specialities in here is when members have created a speciality. That might be along the lines of either a profession or an interest or a cause or a discipline or whatever it may be. And we can create more of those by adding more in here. So at the moment we have industry, interest, profession, speciality again. There's a lot going on here, so please don't worry about it. That's why we're taking in slow time to get this right. So I'm throwing a lot of information at you now. However, these last two, circles and courses, are the most important for us. Okay, so circles is when you touch the circles tab here, you will see a number of circle names appear as we go on. And it's these circles that you guys are going to be the leaders of and have your own circles. So I can click on here. Oh, my internet connection is unstable. But I can click on here and I can view the circle. And in here, it's a bit like the home page where we will see lots of posts that we've created in here. The circle is called the Circle Leaders Circle. This is for us to play with to start with. And we can add in here by just writing what we want, or we can add pictures or video or links or attachments, etc. Okay, so when you're creating a post and then post it, and you can set where you're going to schedule it, or whether you're going to post it now, and also etc. And then the last thing is courses. So as I said on the last webinar, if you have used Zippy courses or Udemy or anything like that, Mighty Networks and we at Bizmarang have something very, very similar here. So if part of your content generation or whatever, you want to do it as a course, then it's all held within the system here. Okay, now that was a very quick run through, and you'll see why in a second. So let me just go back to my slide. So this is where we were. So as we go forward, and I'm talking about the next 2 or 3 weeks, we just have some initial house rules. So please stick to circles and courses where possible. Don't be tempted to post in the Bizmarang homepage or home feed, because otherwise the app will become very similar to the Facebook group page. The whole idea of what we're doing here is that we stick to the circles and courses wherever possible, and that is where the value that you guys are creating will be held. And the other thing is, please do not invite any new members in just yet. Okay, we are all in a learning phase right now, and the tech is quite not ready. And when I is not quite ready, when I say the tech is not quite ready, the only thing that is missing is the ability to take payments through the app. Mighty Networks are working on this. We're promised that it's going to be in the not too distant future, like about 4 to 6 weeks. There is a workaround, but until we are completely au fait with the rest of the app, let's all just keep it as simple as possible for the time being. Okay, some basic revenue rules going forward when we are charging, and that is for basic members, when we've opened it up, there will be a basic membership charge of £1 per month per member. And this is not actually we're not doing this for the monetary value, we're doing it primarily so that members are very used to, or that we've already got their credit card details, etc. So when they want to join a circle or leave a circle very quickly, we don't have to go through the whole process of taking their credit card details and getting them reacquired, etc. Okay, so there will be a basic membership charge of £1 per month per member going forward. It'll also help stratify out some of the not so committed Facebook page members or Facebook group members that we have. With circles, all circles will carry a membership charge that you as the circle leaders will set. And that needs to be a minimum £5 per month. So let me just say that again. All circles will carry a membership charge that you will set. And that needs to be a minimum of £5. Courses. Any circle leader can create a course. And a course does not have to carry a fee, but must only be open to members of a circle. All right? So what we're saying here is that absolutely you may have a circle of really engaged members, etc., and you want to provide them with a course, but you already feel that you're already charging them through the membership circle, and so you don't want to charge them anymore, and that's absolutely fine. Create a course, allow those guys, what happens when you create a course is a bit like when you create a circle, that somebody applies to join, and you, the circle leader, will say, yes, you can come into my course. But the general house rules is that they must be paying a fee somewhere else, in a circle. Okay, our general plan going forward is, in this first week, it's about learning the basics of the app. Okay, where circle leaders are joining, you set up your own profiles, you post your first content, etc. And this is all about us in quiet time and in private, learning how to use the app properly. Okay, what we like, what we don't like, what things we need to change. Do we need to set some basic rules going forward for us internally before we open it up? Second, in next week, we want to sort of look at concentrating on learning the basics of circles. Okay, so CLs, you'll then create your own circles. Sorry, I should have said in this week one, the only circle we're going to use is the circle leaders circle that we've already created. Okay, excuse me. So in week 2, you guys are then going to create your own circles. Join each other's circles. So we'll have a general rule that all of us need to join at least 2 other circles, and then start building a content bank so that when we do to members, that in fact actually there is value for them straight away. So they're not coming in. You guys are beta testers. Sorry, you're the guinea pigs. That's why you come in and it's blank. But when we're bringing other members in who aren't quite as committed as you guys, then in fact actually we want to be offering them value from day one. So let's have some content in there that they can find useful. Then you'll start finding that content will initiate conversations, and the members to start adding their own content, and then the whole principle should start then moving forward. Week 3 should be beta launch planning, where you circle leaders plan the member value propositions and initial promotional activity you're going to do. All right. Now, this is actually almost my specialty and has been for a couple of decades. So I will run either a webinar or a short course on specifically this if you feel not quite confident in understanding how or where you're going to add value. And how you might promote it to your, or create some promotional activity. That said, there are some great online marketers in here, and I love to have their input in that session as well. So it's not just going to be me dictating, but very glad to have these guys in there adding value as well. And then week 4 will be the beta launch, where you guys and Shane and I are going to be running circles as well. So we start circle leaders inviting our first members to join. So the whole idea is we're going to walk through it in slow time, so there is no mad panic rush, so that we don't all trip up just because we don't understand the tech well or how we're going to run it well enough. So that when people come in, when members do eventually come in, that there's good content there, and the people running it, and that's not just myself and Shane, that's you guys as well, that we understand how it works and how it adds value, and how the members should use it. Okay. So, well, about 17 or 18 minutes there. Any questions? Open to the floor. Oh, there's Alison.
Yeah, I've loads.
Go for it.
When you actually invite a member in, what happens? Do they get an email, or how do you invite them in as such?
Either or. So yes, usually you can, within the app, you can put somebody's phone number in or email address, and it will automatically email or text them and say, you've been invited to join by so-and-so.
Mm-hmm. And
okay.
Yes, thank you. And for the actual content, will you have some kind of rule about how much content the circle leaders put in eventually, or that's totally up to you?
Totally up to you. It's your circle. You run it the way you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and sorry.
No, I was just saying, for us, they're your circles. You are the quality control, and in fact, actually, the broader spectrum of how people use it and run it, the better for us, because then we get to see what works and what doesn't work, and what works in what speciality, etc.
Yes, and will you is it up to the circle leader then to say maybe I'm available to answer questions at such and such time. You can set your own rules for when you're sort of available, if that's...
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So essentially what BizMeringue is doing is providing the structure for you guys to run your networks. So if you want to make it where it's, I don't want to use the word dictatorial, but where the whole circle is based entirely around you, and you are pushing out the primary amount of content, then you crack on and do it that way. Other people will be wanting to generate conversations and generate their members interaction, and then putting a lot more content in. At which point, the circle leader will probably stand back and just act as a host or a monitor and let them crack on. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. Any more?
I think Johnny was looking to ask a question there. He put his hand up. Or I see a message going through.
Yeah, no, that's the question, Shane. Thanks. Just a quick one, really. If you think back a slide, there's weeks set out in terms of learning outcomes. When are they beginning?
Week 1 starts today, Johnny, and week 2 starts next Monday.
All right, cool. Oh, that's all right. So go on and get the app ourselves, set it up, yeah.
Absolutely. So I think, Johnny, you came in a little bit after we'd started. So I'll send you this recording and this slide deck, and it just shows you. But simply go to the Google Play or the App Store, download the app, search for BizMeringue, and apply to join. It's dead easy from there.
Cool. And sorry, one last question while I'm unmuted, and then I'll go on mute again. The circle leader, the names of the circle or whatever category you get, is that already pre-assigned, or do you have to go with that?
No. There's no categories assigned, etc. No, you just create your circle, and then you'll find that when you set up the circle, you can add topics and descriptions and categories as you set it up. Again, the wizard for setting up a circle is really, really easy.
It's going to be the biggest social network in the UK, so happy days. Join.
I hope you're right. Any more?
I have 3 very quick questions.
Go for it, Martin.
So there was 2 minimum fees that were discussed. So there's the £1 fee for members.
Yep.
Then there's the £5 fee for a circle.
Minimum, yeah.
If the circle has no members, does the leader pay the £5 fees?
No.
The leader never pays anything.
No.
We just get a deduction from our income.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Okay. And the second is that's the £1 and £5 question covered. If we realise it's not for us, is there a formal mechanism for stepping back? Is there a way that you want us to notify you, or are you asking us to stay in for 5 weeks before we tell you, or how do you see that? What's the appropriate way?
For us, this is very early doors. So we're just learning at this stage. If you want to step away, then of course, that we're not going to hold it against you, etc. We'd be very glad to hear the feedback and as to why, but no, we're not going to hold any penalties. We might ask, look, if we think it's a useful circle, we might just say, rather than you closing it up, can we take it over and maybe one of us will run it, or somebody else might want to run it, or whatever. But we're not trying to bind anybody in here in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, just to reassure, it's not my intention to step back, but it's just in case. Is there a formal mechanism?
Yeah, don't worry, I'm sure I can find out where you live anyway, so but I didn't really say that.
Just Google it, it's all there. Okay,
Northern Ireland after all.
Thank you. Small place.
Anybody else?
Okay, there's a few people putting their hands up. See, Collie, your hands up.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
Collie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Guy. Good to see you. Guy, I'm now pleased to know that I'm member number 3 on the app, which you got to get in there fast. That's my rule. So one of the things you say is, first thing is join. I've done that. Set up profile. I think I've maybe got to do a little bit more work on setting up a profile, because what Well, actually, it's pulling the information from my LinkedIn.
Yeah, if you joined up using LinkedIn, it'll automatically pull it in. Yeah.
Right, to do that. So you're actually saying there post first content. So do you want us just to post to the Bizmorang to show?
Yeah,
that
just
we're
the join the Bizmorang Circle Leader Circle.
Yeah.
And away you go. Knock
Yeah.
yourself out.
Yeah, and for anybody, I see a few people are messaging that it's actually, as you say, you got to look for Mighty Networks.
Yeah.
And that, down Google Play. I actually did it on the Apple Store. Look for Mighty Networks. Then once you get Mighty Networks, it'll ask you to look for a circle, and you just search for Bizmorang, and there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, just search for in Mighty Networks. When you get into Mighty Networks, search for Bizmorang, and there will be.
Easy peasy.
Okay? Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
Mm-hmm.
Any more?
Guy, can I ask a quick question?
Sure,
when we are set up and running with our circles and whatnot, and members are starting to post within our circles, do we get to vet their posts before we sort of say yes, that can go on, or can they just put whatever they want on there?
I think we can. Okay, but I think it's a little bit more fandangled as it stands at the moment. It's one of the things that we want to file at this stage is, do we want to have to be able to do it? We certainly have the ability to remove posts that we don't like, but I must admit it was originally in our very first thought process that yes, actually the circle leader might want to check every post that goes up there. So the short answer is yes, if we really want to, but at the moment the default is no.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay.
I have one more question. So week one, when we start to post something to the circle leaders circle,
yep.
Is there any restriction on the length or the memory or?
No. Let's just because I say we're here to play and understand what works and what doesn't work. So I'm really laissez-faire about the whole thing at this stage to see what works.
Great.
We may well come back in 2 weeks' time and say, look, actually, we want to keep it down to 100 characters or 150 characters. I think they do have an automatic set at 500. Is it maybe 500 characters or something like that? I can't remember. But for the time being, in fact, no, it's not. It's more than that. So, time being, no. Let's just play with it and see where we're going. And it's one of the reasons why we want to take it really slowly for that first 4 weeks to see what works and what doesn't.
Thank you.
No worries. Any more? God, that was easy. Okay. Listen.
I just made my first post, so that bit just do it.
Johnny, get.
I just had to get that one in there. Sorry, guys.
Oh dear, I'm glad to see there's so many competitive people in here. So the final point I wanted to make is that actually somebody previously asked us a question about does everybody have to be based in Northern Ireland when the members will be invited? The short answer is no, not at all. But as most of the initial circle leaders will be coming from Northern Ireland or the island of Ireland, that it's a lot of the benefit of Bizmorang is all the other circles around your own. So initially, it won't be a massive advantage to the population of DC, I would have thought, other than the beautiful content that Karen is going to add, and maybe Eve, because Eve is actually based in Boston, or in and out of Boston on a regular basis. So, but as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, absolutely, we're on the web here. We're not defined by anything geographical or geopolitical in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so yeah, look, Shane, have you anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's covered everything. No, I think that's all.
Can I say something there just quickly, Shane?
Sure, help yourself.
Of course, Colin,
No,
go ahead.
I can see Guy, Shane, Esther's already on there, Karen's on there, Purpose Enterprises, Donald's on there, myself. But interesting enough, I can't see Johnny on there.
Oh, no. No, you may find he's not in as Johnny. What was the Enterprises one?
Enterprise, Purpose Enterprises.
That's him.
That is
That's you, Johnny. Yes. Okay. Because I've just
Nice
made
try.
I've just made the
there,
second.
Colin?
I've just made the second post.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, listen, everybody, let's crack on. You'll be hearing more of us. I think for the time being, we'll agree to have our next Zoom call next Monday. I will have to unfortunately join in from the Canary Islands. However, oh look, Esther Lawson wants to join in Circle Leader Circle. There you go.
How unfortunate, guy. How unfortunate.
No, life's a real bitch sometimes, isn't it? Right.
Oh, yes, Esther just pointed out next Monday's Easter Monday, so I don't know if there'll be quite a few.
You know what? I think Shane, later on in the week we should create a poll and check the polling system within here as to when we have the next meeting. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
All right. Speak to you all soon. Have fun, no doubt. I'll speak to you all. See you all soon in the app. Cheers, guys.
Thank you now. Bye now.